Good day all, welcome to Obed Farm. I remember I did a video which was how to be an amazing farmer. After some time I had to remove it because it had a copyright infringement. So I was forced to remove the video. So I thought someone then asked me why they'd seen the video and they asked me why I'd removed it. I'd removed it because of that. But to all those who have not yet subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel so I can give you content, I can give you more information. So I just think I needed to redo the same video, but probably give it in a different take because obviously I will not be able to recreate everything word for word. Being a farmer is all about taking your chances. The chances that you take are all weird and wild, and all of them have got their goods and bad, but everything has got potential. So what do I mean? Me being who has started off farming and been in farming, I have had challenges. Some challenges have been good, some have been bad, some have been really challenging to a point whereby you stop. I have been a mixed farmer for all of my life so far that I've farmed. I've not done anything, one thing at a time. Reasons being is because I was taught about what is known as risk management. You've got to risk as much as possible. I cannot put in 10,000 into one project. What about if it fails? That's 10,000 gone, and most likely that's the end of me farming. I'll never farm again. Alas, no more. I will never do it again. But this is where I ended up becoming a mixed farmer. When I started the farm, I started off totally goats. That was the first thing I did farm there. I started off with goats. I grew them, got to about 60 to 80, and at that point in time, when I got to about 80, I started diversifying. The first thing I diversified in was I brought in some cattle. The cattle I brought in three cattle, and these three cattle over time we've got to 15 being the maximum. But right now I've always obviously sold some, consumed some, I cannot refuse, and within that we are almost about 12 right now. Those are the cattle that we do have on the farm. Then I went into chickens. First, obviously, the first chickens which were obviously on the farm were Roadrunners. The Roadrunner project, actually, before I even say that the Roadrunner project was actually a project on itself, which was, at that point in time, they called them what? Now I've forgotten. They were called rainbow chickens, which came on the market. We all went into it. Like, it became the craze. As I say, farming can become a craze because when things happen in such a short space of time that everyone jumps into it, and after some time you find out that you don't have a market for it. So that time was saying, you will have a market, you will get these things, you will sell them to restaurants will take them. And do you know one thing? These are the things that motivate you to say, I can go and do it. Now once those chickens got to that size and you're saying, now let me take them to the restaurants. The restaurants are not wanting, or they're giving you a ridiculous price, or you are not able to supply them, or once you've supplied them, your chickens are finished, you're done. Where does the project go to next? And I also did broilers. The broiler endeavor was one of the biggest endeavors I did, as in trying to do, because I had said that to myself, I've grown doing broilers in my life. I can do broilers and it's easy doing broilers. Let me do broilers. So I went mad, bought so many broiler chickens, took them to 6 weeks, got to 6 weeks, the market was dead. Or if I'm not saying the market was dead, that is when you went to the market and I went in and I sent them to a butcher, the butcher person to go into court because he was not able to pay me. He had taken my product, he had sold it, but now he was dodging me on payment. So these were the challenges I had. Once those challenges were done, I did not give up because it was part and parcel of learning. I then went into pig farming. Whilst I was in pig farming, I actually enjoyed pig farming. This was one of the most stable jobs, or I can say the most stable projects that I ever had was my pigs. I knew very well that I had at that point I had 3 sows and 1 boar, and I would roughly know I'd get about 15 to 16 of piglets at any given time, and I would be able to grow those piglets, get them to market size, and I quickly got a very steady market. That market was so steady for me that when I stopped it, when I had said to myself, these pigs, I now need to change the breed, I really lost a lot of customers because of just that changing of pigs that I wanted to change. I wanted to change from one breed to another breed, and once I did that, it took some time. But the minute I got back into the production again of those pigs, it did not take time for me to find my market again and to be able to sell. But I ended up having to rethink about the pigs, because the pigs also at the present moment, Zimbabwe, the prices of everything has just shot up. The price has gone up of feed, but not the price of the meat. That is where the challenge starts, whereby you are now so much concentrating on the feed, and once these things get to the correct size, you are almost breaking even. So what do? Do you continuously do the pigs? No, you don't. You end up stopping doing pigs and you end up starting other things. So what did I end up doing? Right now, I almost closed the piggery down. That I'm not going to lie to you. I almost closed the piggery down. And the reason I almost closed the piggery down was because of the cost of the feed. I don't want to lie to you, the cost of the feed was starting to hurt. It was really becoming very, very expensive for me on the feed. But as I did a video linked up here, from one opportunity came another. I went and I sold all the piglets I sold them as winners. I did not expect them all to go as fast as they did, but I could see every day, ever since I sold those pigs, I still get calls. Do you still have winners? Do you still have winners? And I actually thinking, hey, this is an opportunity. Why don't I just start doing winners only? Get them, grow them, get them to winning stage and sell them. So that's a project that is coming back into my mind slowly, that I might need to start doing winner pigs. So from one hopefully disaster, I have found an opportunity. That is what happens in farming. Opportunities will come to you left, right, and center when you least expect them. And that is one opportunity that I've got to think about. Now, why do I do gardening and all these other things? I actually do enjoy doing vegetables and all that. But this has also got its own challenges. The challenges is, if you do not have water, you cannot do these things. Seriously speaking, if you do not have water, don't go into gardening anything, because you are going to suffer when your things get ready for have grown to a point whereby they need water and everything, and you do not have those things available. These things will die, and when they die, it is really depressing, because you start looking at the amount of money that you have spent and the amount of money you're going to lose, and that just would be very depressing. So don't go into this if you do not have water. So all these things that I've said, and I'm saying that do mixed farming and all that, it is not because I am a person who wants to say that mixed farming is the best way. No, for a person who's doing smallholder, very smallholder, if I have got 50 hectares, let me say 50 hectares of land, and I've got abundance of water, trust me, I will plant probably 20 hectares of maize and 20 hectares of beans, and I'll do rotation, because I have that amount of land, and the amount of land that I do have is able to sustain me to be able to say, if I plant 20 hectares, roughly how much am I going to get? But if I have only 2 to 3 hectares, I cannot go into doing all the 5 hectares of land into growing maize if I do not also have water. It means that in the event that there is not enough water, what happens? The maize will die. So before you do anything or everything that you do, always say to yourself, what do you enjoy doing? And the best thing I always say is try to do two things, 1A and 1B, so that if 1A fails, 1B will compensate for 1A. And it's like that, back and forth. And when you feel that something is not working, cut your losses very fast and move on to the next thing. Because the more you try to keep all your thoughts and your processes on that one product or that one thing that you're trying to do, you may find that it may become so exhausting to a point whereby you will stop. I've actually seen a lot of farmers going down that route, and I've seen a lot of farms that have closed because they had been focusing so much on one thing, and that one thing has become so much of a hindrance, so that they were trying to make sure that it works. And there comes to a point in time where you're actually seeing that this thing is not working, but you're trying to tell them the honest truth, but no one is willing to listen to the truth. I have actually learned the hard way, and I've always learned that if something is not working, as much as even if I've put in so much money into it, I'm very fast to drop it, because if I don't drop it, I am going to lose more money into it. So when you are a farmer, always think about those things, because everything is not always going to be cast that it is going to work. Yes, we want it to work, but if it's not working, leave it alone. So I think I've hopefully touched on a lot of points why mixed farming and all these other kind of farming is good. And I hope that each and everyone who wants to do this is going to take this and take it really on heart and say that this is what they need to do. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for subscribing and liking the channel. And till the next video, thank you and have a good day.